So today we will be discussing another set of MCQs on sales of goods. So the first question is, the rule of caveat emptor does not apply in the case of rule of caveat emptor does not apply in the case of options. A. Fitness for buyer's purpose. B. Sale under a patent or trade name. C. Usage of trade or consent by fraud. And D. All of these. So, rule under caveat emptor, you have to find out from the choices what does not apply to caveat emptor. So, exceptions to the caveat emptor. A. So, fitness for buyer's purpose. B. Sale under the patent or trade name. C. Usage of trade or consent by fraud. And D. All of these. So, which of the following in which the rule of caveat emptor does not apply? Give your answers in the chat. The rule of caveat emptor does not apply in the case of options. A. Fitness of buyer's purpose. B. Sale under patent or trade name. C. Usage of trade or consent by fraud. And D. All of these. At least try to mark your answers so you will be able to learn in much better way. So correct answer for this question is option D, that is all of these. All of these are the exceptions of the rule of caveat emptor. Fitness for buyer's purpose, sale under patent or trade name, usage of trade or consent by fraud. All these are the exceptions to the rule of caveat emptor where the caveat emptor does not apply. So option correct is option number D. Implied conditions include options. A. Condition as to title. B. Condition in case of sale by description. C. Condition in case of sale by sample. And D. All of these. Implied conditions include A. Condition as to title. B. Condition as to sale by sample. And C. Condition as to description. And D. All of these. The correct answer for this question is all these are implied conditions which are discussed. So sale by sample, sale by description, conditions to title. So option D is correct. All are implied conditions. X contracts to buy from Y 1,000 bags of cement. Y sends 1,000 bags through truck. When cement arrives, it becomes stone by the contact of rainwater. Can X reject the goods? Options. A. Yes. Breach is to wholesomeness. B. Yes. Condition as to merchantability. C. No. Y never renewed itself. And D. No. X should have seen it. X contracts to buy from Y 1,000 bags of cement. Seller sends the cement through truck. When cement came at the buyer's place, it became stone due to contact of rainwater. Can the buyer reject the goods? Options. A. Yes. Breach is to wholesomeness. B. Yes. Condition as to merchantability. And C. No. Y never knew himself. And D. No. X should have seen it. Most important case study. At least try to attempt it. The correct answer for this question is option number B. Option B speaks about the breach of condition as to merchantability. So the buyer can reject the goods because the condition as to merchantability has been breached in this case. Merchantability speaks about the achieving or arriving, or buyer can also get the commercial value of the full value of the product when he also sell it. So no one will take the stone as a cement, right? So buyer will not be able to resell it in the market. That's why condition as to merchantability is breaching here, and that's why the buyer can reject the goods using this condition. So option B is correct. A sells his cat to B, saying it is very lucky. B buys the cat, but it does not prove lucky. Has B any cause of action against A? Options. A, yes, for cheating. B, yes, trial period should have been given. C, no, a mere expression of opinion. And D, none of these. A sell his cat to B, saying that it is very lucky. B buys the cat, but it did not prove lucky. Can B take any action against A? Options. Yes, for cheating. Option B, yes, trial period should have been given. Option C, no, mere expression of opinion. And D, none of these. So the correct answer for this question is option number C. Option C is just a mere opinion, and the seller has just given an opinion. So buyer should have been more careful. So buyer cannot take the action against the seller in this case. Remedies for breach of warranty. Identify the remedies for breach of warranty. Options. A. Diminution or extinction of price. B. Refusal to pay the price of goods. C. Sued for loss exceeding the price of goods. And D. All of these. So what is the remedy for breach of warranty? Breach of warranty includes options. A. Diminution or extinction of price. B. Refusal to pay the price of goods. C. Sued for loss exceeding the price of goods. And D. All of these. So correct answer for this question is option number D. All of these are correct. When a warranty is breached, right? So buyer has many options. First, he can also sue for damages. So option C is correct. That sued for loss, yes, he can do so. He may ask that he will not pay the price until the default is made good, right? So option D is also correct. He may say that the price should be now cancelled, he will reprice it. That can also happen. So all of these is the correct answer. For a breach of warranty, remedy can be anything which are being discussed. So option D is correct. All of these is correct. M sold to B a tin of disinfectant powder. He knew that it would be dangerous to open the tin without special care, but he did not warn the buyer. B, without knowledge of the danger, opened the tent and injured himself. B, filed suit for damages for injury. Will B succeed? Options. Yes, condition as to merchantability. B, yes, warranty as to disclosure of the dangerous nature of goods. C, yes, warranty as to quality and fitness by usage of trade. And D, yes, condition as to quality or fitness. M sold to B a tin containing disinfectant powder. The seller knew that if it is not opened properly, the buyer may hurt himself. But he did not inform the buyer. Buyer, without the knowledge of the danger, opened the tin and hurt himself, injured himself. And therefore, the buyer sued the seller for the recovery of the damages for injury. Can the buyer succeed in this case? Options. A, yes, condition as to merchantability. B, yes. Warranty as to disclosure of the dangerous nature of goods. C. Yes. Warranty as to quality or fitness by usage of trade. And D. Yes. Condition as to quality or fitness. Most important conceptual question this is. The correct answer for this question is option B. That is, warranty is breached and implied warranty as to the disclosure of the dangerous nature of the goods. It's the responsibility of the seller to at least inform the buyer regarding the dangerous nature of the goods. And here the seller has breached the warranty. So therefore option B is correct. In a contract of sale, ordinarily there is dash as to quality or fitness of goods for any particular purpose. Options: implied warranty A. Option B, express warranty. Option C, no implied warranty. D, no express warranty. In a contract of sale, ordinarily there is dash as to quality or fitness of goods for any particular purpose. Options: A, an implied warranty. B, express warranty. C, no implied warranty. And D, no express warranty. So the correct answer for this question is, I'm getting the correct answers, that in a contract of sale, ordinarily there is an implied condition and not an implied warranty. So option C is correct, no implied warranty. In a contract of sale, ordinarily there is an implied condition as to the quality and fitness, which we had discussed, and a case law was also discussed, the priest versus Lux, the very lecture. Right? So we remember that and people are answering correct as well. So I hope they are going well. So C is the correct answer. In case of sale of goods by sample as well as description, the implied condition are that the bulk of the goods, option A, shall correspond with the sample. B, correspond with both sample as well as description. C, shall correspond with the description and need not correspond with the sample. D, shall correspond with the sample and may or may not correspond with the description. Question is, in a case of sale of goods by sale as well as description, the implied condition as that the bulk of the goods, options A, shall correspond with the sample. Option B, correspond with the sample as well as description. Option C, shall correspond with the description and need not correspond with the sample. And option D is shall correspond with the sample and may or may not correspond with the description. So the correct answer for this question is option B. When a product is sold and the goods are sold by sample as well as description, so both the conditions need to be fulfilled. So the goods shall correspond with the sample as well as description. That is option number B. A milk vendor supplied X with milk which contained typhoid germs. X got infected after consuming the milk. Is milk vendor bound to pay damages? Options A, yes, breach is of wholesomeness. B, yes, condition as to purchasability. C, no, A never knew himself. And D, no, B should have seen it. A milk vendor supplied X with milk which contained typhoid germs. X got infected after consuming the milk. Is the milk vendor found guilty and he has to pay the damages? Options. A. Yes. Breach of condition as to wholesomeness. B. Yes. Condition as to merchantability. C. No. A never knew himself. And D. No. B should have seen it. So the correct answer for this option for this question is option number A, because here the condition as to wholesomeness is getting breached. The milk should contain the nutrients and not the typhoid germs. So therefore, the milk vendor shall be liable because he has breached the condition as to wholesomeness. Option A is correct. A lady buys synthetic pearls for a high price, thinking that they are natural pearls. The seller does not correct her mistake. Has she any remedies against the seller? Options. A. The lady has no remedy against the seller as the doctrine of caveat emptor applies. Option B. She can avoid the contract as there is a breach of condition as to quality. Option C. The contract is voidable on the ground of fraud. And D. None. A lady buys synthetic pearls for a high price, thinking that they are natural pearls. The seller does not correct her mistake. Has she any remedy against the seller? Options. A. The lady has no remedy against the seller as the doctrine of caveat emptor applies. Option B. She can avoid the contract as there is a breach of condition as to quality. C. The contract is voidable on account of fraud. And D. None. Here, the doctrine of caveat emptor shall apply and will protect the seller. It was lady's mistake to find the synthetic pearls and consider it as a natural pearls. Merchantable quality of goods means option A. That the goods are free from latent defects. Option B. That the goods are marketable at a full value. Option C. That the goods can be used for the purpose for which they are bought by prudent persons. And D. All of these. Merchantability merchantable quality of goods means options. A. That the goods are free from latent defects. B. The goods are marketable at their full value. C. That the goods can be used for the purpose for which they are bought by prudent persons. And D. All of these. So the correct answer for this question is option number D, all of these. Because conditional to merchantability or the merchantable quality means that obviously goods should be free from defects, right? And it should be marketable and the buyer can also get the full value if you want to resell the product in the market. And the third thing is that it can be used for the purpose for which it is being bought. So quality should also be maintained. So answer for this question is option B. M purchased a hot water bottle from a chemist. The bottle burst and injured his wife. Chemist is liable on account of options. A. Breach of express condition as to quality. B. Breach of implied condition as to quality. C. Personal injury caused to the buyer's wife. And D. hot water bottle sale are illegal. M purchased a hot water bottle from the chemist. The bottle got burst, injured his wife. Chemist is liable on what account? Options: A. Breach of express condition as to quality. Option B. Breach of implied condition as to quality. Option C. Personal injury caused to the buyer's wife. And option D. Hot water bottle sales are illegal. The correct answer for this question is option number B. He has reached the implied conditions to quality. Caveat emptor means options: A. Let the seller beware. B. Let the buyer beware. C. Both. And D. Let the agent beware. So what is the meaning of caveat emptor? A. Let the seller beware. B. Let the buyer beware. C. Both. And D. Let the agent beware. So the correct answer for this question is option B. Let the buyer beware is the meaning of caveat emptor. X bought milk which contained typhoid germs. His wife consumed the milk and died. He could recover damages. These facts are given under which case study? Options: A. Priest versus Last. B. Flocks versus King. C. Frost versus Aylesbury Dairy Company. And D. Jones versus Just. So X bought milk which contained typhoid germs. His wife, after consuming the milk, died. He could recover the damages. This is given under which case study? A. Priest versus Last. B. Flocks versus King. C. Frost versus Aylesbury Dairy Company. And D. Jones versus Just. The correct answer is Frost versus Aylesbury Dairy Company. Option number C. In that case, it was laid down. This judgment was being passed. In the contract of sale of goods, implied condition is options: A. Essential to the main purpose of the contract. B. Collateral to the main purpose of the contract. C. Desirable to the main purpose of the contract. And D. Essential and collateral to the main purpose of the contract. In a contract of sale of goods, implied condition is A. Essential to the main purpose. B is collateral to the main purpose. C is desirable to the main purpose. And D is essential and collateral to the main purpose. So the correct answer is option A. That is, it is essential to the main purpose. So give your scores out of 15, how well the participants performed today. And one of the questions is regarding the case studies and the name of the case studies. Yes, you have to remember the name of the case study. Apart from that, you should know the facts of the case, the judgment, and also the context of the case. So you have to remember the names of the case as well. The names of the parties, the plaintiff and the defendant. Questions can be asked on that also. So all the participants will calculate the scores. We are waiting for that. And do post your scores. Okay, we got good going, Aditi. Nikita, your request accepted. Do the needful. Others, do let us know what's your score. Today, many people have participated, so at least I think so they have calculated their scores. And today, the difficulty level of questions were little, I would say, one level up. So we can expect these kind of questions as well. They were all 2-marker questions. The case study based questions, where you need to analyze the concept and then you have to answer it. So hopefully it was really a wonderful session for all. It's beneficial to all. So let's rate the session today. For 5 is the most beneficial session, 1 is the least beneficial session. So this feedback should come from all. So let's rate the sessions, performance of the candidates who have performed and the difficulty level of the questions and how was the overall session. So let's rate it in the scale of 5. 5 is the most beneficial session, 1 is the least beneficial session. So do give your feedback in the chat. So overall, we are getting a good rating, 4.5, 4.75, 5.5. So hopefully these sessions are getting, people are getting benefit of it. So do share among your friends who are really in the need of it. And thank you for your patient listening and participating. We'll be meeting very soon with another set of questions. Thank you for today's session.